إن الحمد لله نحمده تعالى ونشكره ونستعين به ونسترشده ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهد الله فهو المهتدي ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له أرسل رسوله بالهدى ودين الحق ليظهره على الدين كله ولو كره المشركون. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك وعلى سيدنا محمد قائدنا وحبيبنا ومرشدنا وعلى آله الطيبين وصحبه أجمعين ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد. Last Friday we have talked about how important to spend and organize your time in these days throughout the lockdown situation, and how this planning and having target will help you to feel better and achieve benefits and also enjoy your living of those hours and days. If you remember, we talked how to put targets and how to achieve, make benefit of these days. And I gave an example of what my personal thing for 3 hours that I did not plan. And today, actually, I want to talk about a bigger scale. Is how it is important to organize our life, your life, and how the target in this journey is very important. The difference between the Muslims or the believers and unbelievers is that believers should have a target in their life. Because as it says in many locations in the Quran, Al-An'am means the animals, they don't have any target in their life. They just live and they die. We as human beings should have a target in this life. And in order to have value and meaning of our life, of course, the first thing may come to your mind is the surah which says, وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. But many people, in fact, they, they take this as a straight word of يعبدون, means they relate it to al-ibadat, means as-salah, as-sawm, as-zakah, etc. While I heard a very good definition of one scholar, and I like it and I want to share with you, in which he said in Arabic, عبد يعبد means pave and the pavement. So it's like a road. So عبد يعبد means that there is a path and you follow. If you recall Surah Al-Fatiha, what we read in Al-Fatiha, we say اهدنا إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. So we start first, we request that we acknowledge and we say that you God, you Allah, we worship. Na'budu means that we follow your path. And we follow it by saying, اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. So we want to follow that path. So in that definition, al-ibadah means that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put the sirat al-mustaqim and we need to follow that path. Now, walking towards the sirat al-mustaqim or an sirat al-mustaqim, we need to have ammunition with us. We need to have some things in this path. If I recall here few of the things that we should consider. One of the most important things that you will be maybe amazed or surprised, there is a dialogue between an argument and at the end of it Allah يقول سبحانه وتعالى إنه ليس له سلطان, about those who will follow the Satan and he has a power on them. إنه ليس له سلطان على الذين آمنوا. When the first time I read this ayah, I said, what's the after that? I was expecting that he would say al-muhsinun, al-salihun, al-muttaqun. It says إنه ليس له سلطان على الذين آمنوا وعلى ربهم يتوكلون. And you might say, why he said يتوكلون. Why he picked from all these, characters or important things, he brought that those is for him no authority over those who have believed and rely upon this Lord. So only those who believe and those who have relied on Allah. If you think about it, and I want you to think more about it, but I will give you some little things to think why this the character is important. When you rely on Allah, you close all the doors of Satan and worries. It means that when we are in that process of rely, you are not worried about your future. You are not worried about anything might hurt you, because you believe that you do your best and Allah will take care of you. I'll give you something, a story, quick one. A guy who's not religious. I watch it in a TV, and it's a Lebanese TV, and it's not a religious channel. But I was by chance, it is long time ago. And the guy was requested to leave Lebanon. He's an Egyptian guy, to leave Lebanon because he was kind of monologist and say things. And he said things, this is early days, 1950s. And he said that against the ruler of Egypt that time. He's called Jamal Abdel Nasser. And the embassy in Egypt, in Lebanon, called through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and told them this guy had to leave Lebanon. So his passport is expired, Egyptian passport is expired, and he has to leave Lebanon. And the guy has no option. And he's just kind of, blocked. Everything in his life is closed, he has no future. He met a friend on a coffee shop, and he told him the story. He told him, read the end of Surah At-Tawbah. This guy is not religious, but he said, why not? I read it. What it says, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. I read it every day. Anyway, it says at the end of it, it says, حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل. Okay, the end of the surah, it says, حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل. So he read that, I will remember it now inshallah, and he read that, and then like a few hours later, there was a request from one friend that he said there is a play for the government, and if you can join, and it's a short role for you in that play. And the guy said, well, what else I can do? I can join, no problem. And he joined, and then actually he was answering a question, how you got the Lebanese nationality, to the lady, she was interviewing him. And he joined, and everybody was happy and laughing from him. Who attended that play? It was the president of Lebanon. He was very happy from him, and he called him. He said, after they finished, he said, you make me very happy today. What you wish, tell me what you wish, I will do it for you. He said, passport. He means just any passport, like Egyptian passport, any passport. He asked the Minister of Interior, and he told him, give him a Lebanese passport. So he became Lebanese. And he was in nowhere, and now with the tawakkul, just he mentioning that. I personally practice this. And I have a consultant who always giving me hard time when I was working in Saudi Arabia. And this consultant always, take the information from me. I was with the contractor side American company with the Saudi Bin Laden group. And this consultant is always just take advantage of the information, and in front of the owner, he gave us hard time. And I start reading this ayah whenever I pray, whenever I, in any I remember, and I remember him. I was expecting one day that he will be like exposed, or they know him, that he's doing this thing wrong. One day I came to know that I was not believing that. The owner fired him. And since that day, I more believe and believe in that we should not take things light. You should rely on God, and no matter what the thing is, we have to trust in God and believe He can do us something beyond your imagination. The second thing we mentioned last time, in this path we should remember that قُلْ إِنَّ صَلَاتِي وَنُسُكِي وَمَحْيَايَ وَمَمَاتِي لِلَّهِ رَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ, which we say surely my prayer and all my acts of worship and my living and my dying, all for the sake of Allah and the Lord of the worlds. So if we have this with al-hadith, إِنَّمَا الْأَعْمَالُ بِالنِّيَّاتِ وَإِنَّمَا لِكُلِّ امْرِئٍ مَا نَوَى, in this case, we believe that if you put this target in your life, you can achieve both. You can achieve success in this dunya and success in the life after. So what we need to do, we need to make a target in this life. In the same time, target will be taking us to the second life, to the life after. It doesn't matter that whatever you put of al-hayat al-dunya, things, it should be